Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to another episode of The Thriving Idealists. Today will be a solo cast. I know people want to hear me riff about some topics that are important to me, either from my coaching or one-on-one coaching or my group coaching or my Dare to Lead work and all the other workshops that I run. So today, I wanted to do a riff on when self compassion feels inaccessible or unattainable. What do you do when you want to be self compassionate? Everyone talks about, be more self compassionate, practice self compassion, and that feels too far away, especially if you grew up in a space where criticizing yourself or being criticized was the norm. And when you fail or you go through a hard time, instead of there being compassion directed to you, there's more criticism or more kind of pull yourself up by the bootstraps kind of situation. How do you access self compassion when it feels too hard? And so, first of all, what do I mean by self compassion? So, self compassion, according to the work by Kristen Neff, is made of three parts. The first part is mindfulness. So, being able to pay attention to what you're thinking, saying, and doing in the moment. Let's say you made a mistake or something happened that was hard, and normally you would beat yourself up. So, self compassion, the first part of that is noticing what you're thinking, what you're saying, and what you're doing in the moment. So um are you thinking, oh my gosh, I should get it together, or I'm stupid, or what are you thinking in that moment? And so being mindful just means paying attention to what you're thinking, saying, and doing in that moment. And then, so that's the first part of self compassion. And then the second part of compassion is that common humanity, remembering that you're not the only one who is going through this. Chances are there are other people who are making the same mistakes that you're making, probably at the same time. And being able to go, okay, I'm not some alien that fell out of a spaceship, with a horn on my forehead, and I am actually someone who is going through a human experience. I'm having a human experience. So that common humanity is the second part of self-compassion. And now the third part of self-compassion is self-kindness. So you've noticed all the mean things you're thinking about yourself, or maybe all the mean things you're doing to yourself. Maybe you're overeating or numbing. Or maybe you're, saying, "Oh, I need to get it together," or "I suck," or whatever. Insert mean comment here, or so what are you thinking, saying, and doing to yourself? Noticing that and mindfulness, and then remembering that you're not the only one going through that, and then the self-kindness. Now that you've noticed what you're thinking, saying, and doing, how can you be kind to yourself in the moment? So being able to go, oh my gosh, like you're doing the best you can, um, or like I'll go for a walk, or you'll, um call a friend who is empathetic. Call an empathetic friend. Don't call someone who's mean, right? Being able to call someone who's empathetic, and being able to call someone who cares about you and can offer that empathy towards you, that can be self-compassionate, right? Being around people who are kind instead of being around people who will reinforce the self-flagellation that you're experiencing or doing to yourself. And then or you can go for a walk, spend time in nature, journal, meditate, go do something fun, play guitar, go out for a nice meal. Don't eat the whole chocolate, just have like um a few squares of chocolate, right? A few blocks. So being able to do that for yourself. So self-compassion, all right? Treating yourself like someone you love. Treating yourself like someone you love. So three parts of self-compassion, according to a research by Kristen Neff, out of University of Texas in Austin. Three parts of self-compassion. You have mindfulness, noticing what you're thinking, saying, and doing in the moment. And then there's common humanity, remembering that you're not the only one going through it. There are other people who are having that shared common human experience. You're just humaning, okay, as the kids say these days. You're just having a human moment. And then the last part is self-kindness, being able to be kind to yourself in the moment. So, as I said earlier, so what happens then when self-compassion is too hard to reach? Right? Sometimes you want to be self-compassionate, right? Everyone's like, "Oh, just be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself and all of that." And you're like, "Well, I want to, but I can't seem to reach it." So for me, self-compassion was really hard. I didn't know how to do that. Treating yourself like someone you love, using that phrase was really helpful for me to try to, okay, if I was in a relationship with myself, how would I treat myself, right? Treating myself like someone I love. So that was helpful, but sometimes it's just hard to reach, especially in situations where I have made a mistake that I felt like was avoidable, that, or maybe I felt responsible for that thing, or I should have known better, right? I I could have done better. I'm too mature for this behavior. Just when I feel like I've fallen short in a way that's like beyond what um I expect of myself, right? There's some mistakes happen, but there's some things where if I feel like I could have prevented that, or I could have done something about it, those situations can be very hard for me to practice that self-compassion with myself. So in those cases, and with my clients who struggle with practicing self-compassion, I I say there may be some stepping stones. So maybe self-compassion is, here, and you're trying to make that leap to self-compassion, and it feels too big of a jump. um I see two stepping stones that you can kind of hop onto, to do those two hops to try to get to self-compassion. The first practice is, or the first concept or practice that I like to think about when self-compassion feels too hard is non-judgment. Just don't judge yourself, right? Can you ask for what you need, or can I face my needs without any judgment? Can I talk about how I feel, or can I own how I feel without any judgment? Right? So in this moment, like, I want to judge myself, that I suck or whatever, right? Can I just like abstain? Not even going into the self-kindness, but can I just like not judge myself? So that non-judgment is a big part of um making that step, that hop towards towards self-compassion. So non-judgment is a big part of the work, especially with Daring Way, Dare to Lead, Rising Strong, Brene Brown's work, and also in a lot of, like, Eastern philosophy, and also in Christian as well. If I'm really thinking about it, non-judgment is in a lot of faith traditions, and so it's a great practice to have. Is a great philosophy to have, and also it's a part of one of the pieces of anatomy of self-trust in Rising Strong, right? When you're able to practice non-judgment, it helps you come closer to your self-trust, and we'll talk about self-trust in another riff. So non-judgment. Can I just not judge myself for my needs? Can I just not judge myself for how I feel? Right? So let's say I'm feeling um like kind of needy, quote unquote, right? I'm needing extra attention, I'm needing extra love, and there's nothing wrong with that. Especially as givers, right? As idealists, we tend to like do all the giving, and so we feel like, if we are in a situation where we're wanting a little bit more attention or affection, then we feel kind of needy. But I feel like you'll have to swing very far with a pendulum to even get close to needy. I feel like it's impossible for a giver to be needy. I just feel like it's just impossible. So if you're one of those people who likes to give and serve and all of that, um, give yourself permission to face your needs, address your needs, and you're not being clingy, you're not being needy, you're just being human, and every human has needs, and it's okay to have needs. Can you look at those needs, whether it's need for sex, or need for companionship, or need for a hug, or need for alone time. And for my introverts, that alone time is key to harmony in your relationships. Can you ask for what you need without judging yourself? Can you face your needs without judging yourself? So non-judgment is a key practice that I have when self-compassion feels too hard. So, am I able to ask for what I need? Am I judgmental about needing help? Right? If I need help, like, do I judge myself about that? And then the other practice, or that I like to think about when self compassion feels too hard to reach, is generosity. Generosity, as in always extending the most generous interpretation of intentions and words and actions of others, but also of myself. So, always coming from the assumption that I'm doing the best that I can, right? So when self compassion feels too far away, I just immediately remember, okay, I'm not going to judge myself in this moment. That's a non-judgment. It is, I've made this mistake, or I've done this thing, or I've had a hard time, or this thing happened to me, and I'm not going to judge myself for what I need first. And then I'm just going to come from the assumption, look, in this moment, I'm doing the best that I can. For whatever reason, by some mystery, this is the best I could do in this moment, and it's okay. Being able to say it's okay, you're doing the best you can, doesn't mean that everything goes, but knowing that I'm doing the best that I can, um, and practicing that non-judgment, then makes it easier for me to make that third step towards self-compassion. So this is not researched anywhere. This is just out of a decade of coaching, something that I found myself, teaching my clients over and over again when they say, you know what, the self-compassion thing is just too hard. I say, okay, can you just practice non-judgment? Can you not judge yourself in this moment? Okay. And they practice that. And then, okay, can we lean into the fact that for some reason, this was the best you could do in this moment? Right. And then being able to go, okay, I'm going to not judge myself. I'm going to assume I'm doing the best that I can. Right. Then the self kindness becomes easier to reach. Right. Being able to do something kind for yourself, go for the walk, go for, you know, go for a nice meal, or take a nap, or right. So one of the key things about me is that I'm a little bit of a nerd. Actually, I'm a lot of a nerd, and technician. So I like to break things down, and so things like self compassion, breaking it down into like mindfulness, self kindness, common humanity, being able to break it all the way down, and then see if I can like practice and embody those different things. And if they feel unreachable, then I go like, what's the tiniest thing I can do within each part? And for me, trying to get to that self-kindness is and common humanity can be the hardest parts, right? Where it's like, I'm weird, I'm a loser, and like everybody else has their stuff figured out, and then there's Yvonne, right? And being able to go, okay, no, like I'm not going to judge myself in this moment. um I have needs, and my needs are valid, and I'm doing the best I can, and I'm going to try to reach, these needs after I realize that I'm doing the best I can, and that, you know, it's okay. So, and that's my tiny little riff for today. Um yeah, so if you have any questions, shoot me an email, or come join us in the group coaching time, the Thriving Idealists Mastermind Experience, where I have a small group of people who are being coached alongside you, where you can build community and see that, and have that common humanity, remembering that you're doing the best you can. When you hear other people's stories and what they're going through, it becomes easier to internalize the fact that you're not some random weirdo. We're all weird, and we're all doing the best we can. And when you hear the other stories, it becomes easier for you to practice that self compassion towards yourself. So time is a great way to practice this self compassion, where you see other people going through similar journeys with you, and also you being able to exercise that empathy for others. Of course, I'm always available for one-on-one coaching, and also, you can come join us at the Dare to Lead workshop as well. That is starting February 23rd, which is, I think, they're Thursdays at 5 p.m. Pacific. So we have time, which is the group coaching on Tuesday, every other Tuesday at 5. One-on-one coaching, you pick your own time, and then you have Dare to Lead, which is every Thursday at 5. All right, each 6 months. Dare to Lead is 3 months, and time is 6 months. And one-on-one coaching is from 6 months onwards. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for listening today. I really appreciate you taking the time out to take care of your own needs. And remember that no need to judge yourself for your own needs. You're doing the best you can, and now go on and be kind to yourself and gentle to yourself in what you're thinking, saying, and doing, and remembering that you're not alone in the process, that you're just having a human experience. I hope that was helpful for you. Take care, and now go cultivate your light, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.